So, good evening to all my viewers and fellow educators. Welcome to GETI Talk, India's largest talk show on education by eminent personalities and great educators. Today, we are going to discuss about tapping your avatars and monetizing multiple potentials with very beautiful, very versatile, and amazingly talented Mrs. Navita Deshpande. I am Sudhir Kumar, your host for today on Disruptive Education Facebook Live session with Global Education and Training Institute. Navita is a transformation coach, psychologist, behavioral skill trainer, and an organizational development and change management specialist. In another realm, she is a theater artist, Reiki practitioner, oracle card reader, and focuses on holistic well being. For the last 2 decades, she has been integrating her many avatars in different environments, helping individuals and organizations to transform. As a coach and psychotherapist, Navita blends mindfulness and counseling. As a speaker and a trainer designing interventions, she brings in the experience from psychology and applies storytelling and dramatization techniques. I'm pleased to welcome Mrs. Navita Deshpande on our platform for the lovely discussion we are going to have today. So, very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Sudhir ji. Thank
You're
you,
welcome,
Sudhir
ma'am.
ji.
So, let's start with our first question: that what is tapping your avatars? All of us, are curious to know that. What do you mean by that exactly?
Yes, it is something which is new, and we may have heard about it, not heard about it. So, first, let me tell you what Tap Your Avatars is not. It is not what Facebook is telling us these days to create your own avatars. It is not a magic superhero which will come and wipe up coronavirus today from our universe. It is
Right.
not that. It is also not some Devya avatar or the movie Avatar. So, Tap Your Avatar is our tagline at Unakriti. Unakriti is the venture which is founded by Mr. Abhijit Deshpande, and I'm co founder of that venture, where we truly,
Mhm.
truly believe that everybody has multiple potentials, they have skills, and they have multiple aspirations. They also have the ability to convert those aspirations into realities. And उस realities को हम जब एक जीवन देते हैं तो they have the ability to inspire others as well. So behind every teacher, every educator, every lawyer, doctor, army person, professor, behind each one of these is a traveler, photographer, astrologer, tarot reader, oracle reader, photographer. आप नाम लीजिए and you will find that behind everyone there is a hidden avatar. So tap your avatar is all about tapping into those potentials that we have. You must have heard about a quote which is very popular: all that glitters is not gold. Let's bring a twist. All that does not glitter can be gold. Just because we have a potential and we have not yet given it life, it does not mean it does not exist. And अगर हम उसको सही राह दें, सही तरीके से आगे लेके जाएं, तो वो बहुत बड़ा हमारे लिए मॉनेटरी पोटेंशियल बन सकता है. We have done it at Unakriti. You have seen the kind of work that I've been doing and how I have been tapping my avatars. And we have been working with people, meeting people who are doing that in day to day life. We have met people who are IT professionals and running a very successful, beautiful homestay. We have met people who have been professionals in corporate environment and have turned into a photographer. We have met a filmmaker turned into an owner of a co-working space. We have worked with people who are HR professionals turned into running a business on candle making. ज्यादातर सिचुएशंस हमारे लाइफ में ऐसी आ जाती है कि हमें ये निर्णय लेने पड़ते हैं. वी आर फोर्स टू टैप इनटू आवर अवतार्स. टेकिंग एन एग्जांपल, आजकल क्योंकि इतना ज्यादा स्लो डाउन हुआ है, पीपल आर लूजिंग देयर जॉब्स, पीपल आर नॉट क्लियर आगे क्या होने वाला है, फ्यूचर में क्या है. 18 साल के बच्चे जब हम काउंसलिंग करते हैं बोलते हैं ऐसे लग रहा है लाइफ खत्म हो गई, जो करना चाहते थे वो तो कर नहीं पा रहे. So life throws us in situations where we are forced to do that. What we at Unakriti say, why do we want to make that decision of waiting for life to happen and then taking that call? Take that call. Naturally, हमारी life में वो situations आती हैं when we reach a certain age, 38, 39 के हो गए, लगता है कि अब क्या करें आगे. But आजकल वो स्टेज जल्दी आ जाती है. कॉलेज से ग्रेजुएट होते हैं तो लगता है ये तो करना ही नहीं था, क्योंकि बोल दिया ऐसा कोर्स कर लीजिए तो कर लिया, पर बनना क्या है पता नहीं. So tap your avatars is all about exploring what all gives you happiness. Happiness leads to further positive emotions. Those positive emotions builds resilience, helps us tackle failures, helps us build adaptability. हम किसी भी environment में fit हो जाते हैं और अपने आप को ढाल सकते हैं. It gives us a chance to enable and make alive multiple things which I can be a superhero at. That's what Tap Your Avatars is all about, and the tagline at Unakriti.
Thank you so much for explaining this. So, how can people like a student, teacher, and everyone around us, because as you have mentioned that we all possess some different or other kind of potentials, right? So, how they can monetize such things? Because in India we do not really appreciate multitaskers or people who engage in multiple things. We always say that focus on one thing. Do not gel up into another thing that would may distract you in achieving your goals. So what do you believe in that thing? Is it possible to monetize each and everything in whatever way we are in well versed in?
यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट सुधीर जी. जब आपने बोला कि कई दफा ऐसे लगता है कि मतलब एक ही चीज है और ये पॉसिबल नहीं है, बट इज इट पॉसिबल? वी आर लिविंग एग्जाम्पल्स. जब हमने ये पाथ चूज करा तो हमारे पास काफी लोग आते थे पूछने के लिए, आप ऐसा कैसे कर सकते हैं, आप ऐसे कैसे जी सकते हैं. वी टू शेयर अ लिटिल बिट, वी आर करंटली डूइंग ऑल आवर वर्क रिमोटली, नॉट बिकॉज लॉकडाउन हैपेंड. इट वॉज अ कॉन्शियस डिसीजन अ फ्यू ईयर्स बैक कि किस तरह से हम इस तरह काम करें कि हम दुनिया में कहीं भी हो हमारे क्लाइंट्स को हम सर्व कर सकें. चाहे वो काउंसलिंग है, चाहे वो कोचिंग है, चाहे वो ऑरिकल रीडिंग है, चाहे वो वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट है, even webinars and workshops. We leverage technology and we have been successfully delivering all of these things via internet to our clients across the world remotely. And remote working is something we practice and we promote as well. तो ये पॉसिबल है और ये हर कोई अचीव कर सकता है. जैसे कि मैंने पहले बोला, अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स लाइफ थ्रोज अस इन दो सिचुएशंस. एक व्यक्ति जिनके साथ मैंने काम किया हुआ है, ही चोज टू बी इन आर्मी, दैट्स वेयर हार्ट एंड सोल लाइड फॉर हिम. बट एक्सीडेंट की वजह से उन्हें आर्मी जल्दी छोड़नी पड़ी. उस समय जीवन में ऐसा लगा कि आगे क्या, अब क्या कर सकते हैं. उन्होंने फिर ट्रेनिंग एक्सप्लोर किया, उसके बाद फुल लॉ लॉ का कोर्स किया, एंड नाउ ही इज अ वेरी सक्सेसफुल रनिंग लीगल प्रोफेशनल. कुछ लोग ऐसे भी होते हैं कि जो एक जॉब शुरू करके कुछ टाइम के बाद, 2 महीने बाद या 2 साल बाद रियलाइज होता है कि यार सही पाथ पे नहीं है, कुछ अलग करना है, जीवन का ये पर्पस तो नहीं हो सकता, सेंस ऑफ बीइंग लॉस्ट. देन दे स्टार्ट द क्वेस्ट. व्हाट वी से कि अगर हम कुछ चीजें पहले से इनकलकेट करना शुरू कर दें, पहले से उनको आइडेंटिफाई करना शुरू कर दे, देन टैपिंग योर अवतार्स कैन एक्चुअली लीड टू बिग विंस. एंड व्हाट डू वी मीन बाय बिग विंस? कैसे हम अपने अवतार्स को टैप कर सकते हैं, अलाइव कर सकते हैं, अपने लिए सेकेंडरी सोर्सेज ऑफ इनकम या अनदर सोर्स ऑफ इनकम जो आज के टाइम में बहुत ही जरूरी होती है सबकी जीवन में, एक्टिवेट कर सकते हैं. सो व्हाट डज बिग विन स्टैंड फॉर? बिग विन में बी स्टैंड्स फॉर बिलीफ. पहला है विश्वास, आत्मविश्वास. डू यू बिलीव इट इज पॉसिबल? डू यू बिलीव इट कैन बी डन? डू यू बिलीव यू हैव मल्टीपल पोटेंशियल्स? अगर आप सोचने बैठेंगे तो आप ध्यान दीजिए आपको किन चीजों में ज्यादा खुशी मिलती है. किसी से भी पूछ लीजिए, मेजोरिटी ऑफ पीपल व्हेन यू आस्क देम दिस क्वेश्चन, व्हाट गिव्स यू हैप्पीनेस, द आंसर मोस्ट लाइकली विल नॉट बी कि जो वो प्रोफेशनली करते हैं. इट कुड बी व्हेन आई कुक, इट कुड बी व्हेन आई एम राइटिंग अ ब्लॉग, इट कुड ऑल्सो बी कि मैं जब फोटोग्राफ्स खींचता हूँ या मैं ट्रैवल करता हूँ और मैं अलग अलग लोगों से मिलता हूँ. पर वो सारी तो हॉबीज है. उसको हॉबी के नजरिए से बाहर निकाल के हम अपने पोटेंशियल को बिलीव करें. सो बी स्टैंड्स फॉर बिलीव. I stand for identifying. So, linking it to the first question that I said, what gives me happiness? What will I be doing if I'm not a teacher, if I'm not a student, if I am pursuing law and that doesn't excite me, if I'm a doctor and I don't feel like practicing, if I am uh, an engineer but somehow I get bored with my job, if I'm not doing this, what will I be doing? मुझे किस चीज में खुशी मिलती है, मुझे किस चीज में वो मोमेंट्स मिलते हैं जिसमें मैं दुनिया भूल सकती हूँ. जिसमें मैं कुछ ऐसा क्रिएट कर सकती हूँ जो मैं दूसरों को शेयर करते हुए प्राउड फील करूँ. सो आई स्टैंड्स फॉर आइडेंटिफिकेशन. बिलीफ इस्टेब्लिश कर लिया, आइडेंटिफिकेशन कर लिया. इन स्कूल्स टीचर्स कैन प्ले अ वेरी बिग रोल इन दिस आइडेंटिफिकेशन प्रोसेस. हम होम में जब होमवर्क देते हैं, हॉलीडेज में होमवर्क देते हैं, मोस्टली दैट इज बेस्ड ऑन करिकुलर बिकॉज अदर एक्टिविटीज आर कंसिडर्ड एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर और को स्कोलास्टिक. वो मेन स्ट्रीम नजरिए से नहीं देखी जाती. पर आप सोचिए अगर किसी बच्चे को होमवर्क मिले कि आगे जाके आपको अपनी कंपनी स्टैब्लिश करनी है अगर, तो आपको कंपनी रजिस्ट्रेशन का पूरा प्रोसेस के ऊपर प्रोजेक्ट बनाना है. या समझ लीजिए कि अगर किसी बच्चे का पैशन म्यूजिक में है, उसको होमवर्क दे दिया जाए कि आप अगर इसको करियर बनाना चाहें तो आप कैसे जाएंगे. इट्स अबाउट आइडेंटिफाइंग. And as teachers, as educators, we can play a very important role in helping them identify this passion in them and change the thought process and believe it is possible. एक बार बिलीफ एस्टैब्लिश हो गया, एक बार आइडेंटिफाई हो गया, फिर रुकना नहीं है. जी स्टैंड्स फॉर गेट गोइंग. एक दिन आएगा तब करेंगे, किसी को नहीं पता. किसी ने 4 साल पहले नहीं सोचा था कि हम 4 महीने सब लोग घर पे रहेंगे. We'll have to change the way we live. We have to change the way we think, we talk, we work. Everybody is using technology. It's not easy, right? So get going, find knowledge, find people who inspire you, talk to people, get a coach, attend a class, get knowledge about something that you are passionate about. म्यूजिक में इंटरेस्ट है, आप अपना यूट्यूब चैनल स्टार्ट कर लीजिए. क्या होगा, ज्यादा से ज्यादा कम फॉलोअर्स होंगे, लाइक्स नहीं आएंगे, कोई नहीं देखेगा, आप तो गेट गो हो जाओगे. सो बी आई जी बिग. बिलीव, आइडेंटिफाई, गेट गोइंग. Then comes the win. Once we have started that, that comes the win. Work for it. Do not just leave it into the hobby domain. कि गार्डनिंग मेरी हॉबी है, गार्डनिंग से हॉर्टिकल्चर की स्किल डेवलप होती है. लैंग्वेज मेरी हॉबी है, लैंग्वेज की इतनी पोटेंशियल है दैट पीपल when they pick up a foreign language they can actually become translators, they can become transcribers. We have met and worked with travelers because we do coaching and publishing as well. They have written a book after their travels and now they want to publish them in an international language. So they're looking for language, oratory skills for themselves. We have done it. हम लोगों ने travel किया, so we got going. Believe we can do. We have been traveling for a very long time. We believed we can travel for long duration. Our backpacking trip to Northeast India ended for almost 4 to 5 months. Then we got going with the ideas how do we share knowledge, and we started to work on that. And that work got us the result of our first published book of Backpacking Northeast India Curious Journey. So it's possible. Even your travels can get you work and you can monetize that. There are ways to do it. Some people open blogs. We have been developing websites for people who are converting their hobbies into professions. So once you start working towards and get serious about it, then comes your next I, which is integrate. जब टाइम मिलेगा तो करेंगे, जब मेरी ये एज हो जाएगी, बैंक में इतना बैलेंस हो जाएगा, जब मेरे बच्चे का ये वाला कोर्स कंप्लीट हो जाएगा, तब करेंगे. हम उसको पीछे कर देते हैं. Integrate in your day-to-day life. So even if your passion is or your child's passion is or you see school में students का passion painting में है, integrate that. हफ्ते में एक दिन, 2 हफ्ते में 2 बार, एक महीने में एक बार, कुछ तो करो. Integrated, be mindful कि I want to focus on this as well. And then we start to develop that skill. Once that skill is being developed, nurture it. नर्चरिंग से होता है कि आप उसको कैसे इन्हांस कर सकते हैं, कैसे उसको बढ़ा सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड टू प्रैक्टिस, नाउ आई प्रैक्टिस एज अ psychologist for various problems that people have in their lives. But I started off with counseling only. When I was clear, this is something that I like, I invested and got certified as a counselor on a British curriculum. I loved that further. Then I added on to another qualification in myself and I ended up doing a master's program in psychology. So when you nurture it, it will show results. So खुद को schools में बच्चों को एक गमले की नहीं, एक क्यारी की तरह सोचो. Sow various seeds because you don't know which one can give you flowers and fruits in the future. So, introducing extracurricular activities is good, but looking it from the point of view of big win, belief, identification, get going, work off towards it, integrate it in your day to day life, and continue to nurture it. उसके बाद क्या है सुधीर जी? जब हथौड़ा गर्म है, जब आपका लोहा गर्म है, मार दो हथौड़ा। जीवन की वेट थोड़ी करनी है कि जब मेरे को लॉकडाउन
बिल्कुल
मिलेगा
सही।
तब मैं अपना दूसरा अवतार एक्टिवेट करूंगा। Start now. You
सही बात
never
है।
know when if you know you're not happy in your job and you have a skill that is nurtured from big win point of view, you can activate that avatar like that. But if you have to start from scratch, then comes the problem. We go to a low phase, we feel life में तो कुछ रहा ही नहीं है, मैं तो कुछ और कर नहीं सकता. If you have to answer this question, if I am not a trainer, what will I be? इस तरह के questions हमें बहुत loss की feeling देते हैं. And once we start to feel lost, we keep going down and down and down. And we know what happens when students are unable to get the scores. क्योंकि उनके पास कोई और स्किल है ही नहीं, या उन्होंने सोचा ही नहीं कि मेरा जो जो पोटेंशियल है मैं प्रोफेशनली यूज कर सकता हूँ. सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट बिग विंस दैट टैपिंग योर अवतार्स कैन गिव यू, and it is a systematic approach which you can integrate in your life.
And definitely, and whatever you have said is absolutely right. And many a times I have seen people who actually have good skills, but they do not know how to go about it, how to proceed further with it. And as you have mentioned, rather than giving extracurricular things in this school as a project, ask them to make a project wherein they need to identify that what all things are needed in order to build a company or build a manufacturing unit or build maybe a music studio or maybe some kind of paint shop. So these kind of entrepreneurial that entrepreneurial skills or the studies is actually missing in our education system. And some of the teachers, even they are not aware of these kind of things, which is would be needing in next 10 to 15 years, which is a major miss. So what do you think, as you have been in this journey for quite a long now, so what are the initial hiccups or the challenges which you have faced and which anyone could have faced when they start?
हम्म. क्योंकि आपने टीचर्स का नाम लिया सुधीर जी, एंड आई टोटली एम्पथाइज, आई हैव टॉट एज वेल, एंड मैंने काफी स्टूडेंट्स के साथ काम किया है, और एक टीचर का रोल एक बच्चे के जीवन में बहुत बड़ा रहता है. मुझे एक कहानी याद आ रही है, टू आंसर द चैलेंजेस दैट कैन कम इन, टीचर्स हाउ दे प्ले अ रोल इन ओवरकमिंग दोज चैलेंजेस, के एक नजरिए से अगर देखा जाए, शायद ये कहानी आपने सुनी होगी, शायद ऑडियंस ने भी सुनी होगी, पर दोबारा सुनने में कोई हर्ज नहीं है. एक बच्चा था जो अपने सिर्फ एक बाजू के साथ पैदा हुआ, उसकी राइट आर्म नहीं थी. जब उसका 9वां बर्थडे था, व्हेन ही हैड हिज 9th बर्थडे, ही टोल्ड हिज पेरेंट्स, आई वांट टू लर्न कराटे. पेरेंट्स को पहले तो बहुत घबराहट हुई, डर लगा कि कराटे बहुत अग्रेसिव है, उसमें बच्चे का क्या हाल होगा, उसके जीवन में लिमिटेशंस हैं, वो कैसे अपने आप को वहां पे एडजस्ट कर पाएगा, एक्सेप्ट भी होगा कि नहीं होगा, टीचर भी मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा. खैर उन्होंने कहा कि और कुछ नहीं तो बच्चे को खुशी तो मिलेगी, सो लेट अस फाइंड अ टीचर फॉर हिम. दे एंडेड अप फाइंडिंग somebody who was a very good karate expert, a teacher people looked up to, सेंसुई कहते थे इसको. उस टीचर ने जब इस बच्चे को देखा तो उन्होंने बोला ठीक है, हम इसको एडमिशन दे देंगे. ट्रेनिंग शुरू हो गई. ट्रेनिंग जब शुरू हुई तो टीचर ने उस बच्चे को एक मूव सिखाई. बच्चे ने वो एक मूव प्रैक्टिस करना शुरू कर दिया. पेरेंट्स खुश हो गए कि चलो बच्चा कुछ तो सीख रहा है. और वो बच्चा जब वो एक मूव कर रहा था, उसने देखा कि टीचर तो बाकी लोगों को और मूव्स भी सिखा रहा है, मुझे तो और सिखा ही नहीं रहे, मुझे भी और सीखनी है. उसने जाके टीचर को बोला कि सर मुझे भी आप ये सिखाइए और मूव्स, मैं एक मूव कैसे करता रहूं. तो टीचर ने बोला बेटा बस ये मूव करते रहो, प्रैक्टिस करते रहो. तो बच्चे ने माना, टीचर की बात सुन के उसने वही मूव प्रैक्टिस करी, और एक दिन आया कि उस बच्चे का नाम टूर्नामेंट में दे दिया गया. बच्चा भी घबरा गया, पेरेंट्स भी घबरा गए कि ये क्या हो रहा है, टूर्नामेंट में क्यों दे दिया. पेरेंट्स को लगा हो सकता है सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाने के लिए नाम दे दिया, वो कोई बात नहीं, भेज देते हैं, हो सकता है जान पहचान होएगी तो उन्होंने एंट्री दिला दी होगी. बच्चा चला गया टूर्नामेंट में, और हैरानी की बात वो पहला राउंड जीत भी गया. बच्चा खुद हैरान कि ये कैसे हो गया. मुझे तो सिर्फ एक ही मूव आती है, मैंने तो पहले कभी किसी के साथ खेला भी नहीं है ये वाला गेम। उसके बाद हाउ इज इट दैट आई हैव वन दिस फर्स्ट राउंड ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट? Then he started to think maybe sir is kind. He must have told people that, encourage this child, make him win. So he kind of parked that thought and said, ठीक है, first round है, it's all right. आगे क्या होएगा देखा जाएगा. He enters the second round. He wins the second round again. And now he is even more anxious कि अरे first round, second round दोनों कैसे जीत गए यार, इतना थोड़ी हो सकता है tournament. Enters the third round, again he wins, and then comes the final round. He's totally scared. उसके सामने जो opponent है वो उससे काफी बड़ा है, एकदम powerful दिख रहा है. This is a boy who is 9 year old, thin chap with only one arm, only knowing one move and never played outside, never participated in any other sports. And here he is in front of an opponent who is much bigger, much stronger, and expert in the field of karate. टीचर को देखा, टीचर ने बोला बेटा जाओ. ऑर्गेनाइजर्स ने बोला आर यू श्योर, हम ये मैच यहीं खत्म कर सकते हैं, ऑन ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ग्राउंड्स हम कुछ डिसीजंस ले सकते हैं. टीचर ने बोला लेट इट गो, लेट इट हैपन. वो चाइल्ड गया फाइनल राउंड में, फाइनल राउंड में जीता, ट्रॉफी लेकर आया. हैरान परेशान खुशी से भरा हुआ, माँ बाप एकदम प्राउड, आंखों में आंसू. बच्चे ने जाके टीचर से पूछा सर ऐसा कैसे हो गया, हाउ डिड आई मेक इट हैपन, हाउ डिड दिस हैपन. क्या आप किसी को जानते थे? मुझे तो सिर्फ एक ही मूव आता है, मेरे पास एक बाजू भी नहीं है, एक कैसे हो गया कि मैं टूर्नामेंट जीत गया. टीचर ने उसको बोला बेटा ये जो तुमने एक मूव करी और उसको बार बार प्रैक्टिस किया, उससे दो चीजें हुई. वन, यू हैव mastered one of the most difficult moves in the game of karate. And two, when you play this move, which you have mastered now, the only defense your opponent has to beat you is by pulling your right arm, which you do not have, my child. So what you thought was your challenge is actually today your biggest strength. And by practicing, by following a path, you have actually proved that your potentials are far bigger than what you thought you could be.
What a lovely
So,
story it is, actually. Very inspiring.
so that's
In many
the
ways,
role
maybe
of
to be
teachers.
honest.
Thank you. So that's the role of teachers. A teacher, a coach, a mentor has the power to make us believe what we can achieve, to help us identify what we might not be even having in the vicinity of our eyes. And once we have the belief, once we have identified, आगे का रास्ता अपने आप बनते जाता है, सिर्फ उस दृढ़ निश्चय से आगे बढ़ना है. उसमें टीचर्स का सबसे पहला रोल मॉडल आता है. अभी हाल ही में मेरी एक टीचर से बात हो रही थी जिनसे मैं डिस्कशन कर रही थी कि करिकुलम्स कैसे होते हैं स्कूल में, किस तरह से इंटरनेशनल और नॉन इंटरनेशनल स्कूल डिफरेंस होते हैं. और बातों बातों में निकल के आया कि मेरा म्यूजिक में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है, जब मैं ये टीचिंग नहीं करूंगी ना तो आई विल गो इनटू म्यूजिक. एंड माय क्वेश्चन वाज व्हाई यू नॉट स्टार्टिंग नाउ? once you will be able to do it, you will also be able to set a role model that I'm a teacher. It doesn't mean you have to leave your job, you have to pick up a whole new career straight away, sabbatical ले लेना है, या बच्चों को बोलना है मेन सब्जेक्ट्स पे फोकस मत करो, सिर्फ इन पे फोकस करो. इट्स अबाउट डूइंग इट टुगेदर विद एवरीथिंग. अगर टीचर्स में कोई इच्छा है कि अगर वो टीचिंग कर रहे हैं साथ में उनको कुकिंग के लिए अपनी शेफ वेबसाइट निकालनी है, अगर वो चाहते हैं कि टीचिंग करते करते वो म्यूजिक का या टीचिंग करते करते एक बुक ऑथर करना चाहें, वो कर सकते हैं. इट्स पॉसिबल, इट्स वीव डन इट, वीव सीन पीपल डू इट. पर उसमें दिक्कतें क्या आती हैं बच्चों को कराने के लिए, खुद पे करने के लिए? वी हैव डन अ लॉट ऑफ थिंकिंग, और हमारे जितने भी लोगों के साथ हमने काम किया है, वी हैव बीन एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई 11 एनिमीज ऑफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. उन एनिमीज में सबसे पहला जो हम वर्कशॉप्स भी करते हैं, हेल्पिंग पीपल आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट कैन बी देयर रोड ब्लॉक अगर उनको अपने अवतार स्टैप करने हैं. द फर्स्ट वन इज सेल्फ डाउट. हम अपने ऊपर विश्वास नहीं कर पाते कि हम ये कर सकते हैं. इज इट पॉसिबल, रियली इट इज पॉसिबल? हम वो बच्चे के जैसे हो जाते हैं जिसकी एक बाजू नहीं है और उसको विश्वास ही नहीं हो पाता कि वो एक टूर्नामेंट जीत सकता है सिर्फ एक मूव की मदद से. So self-confidence is something which is one of the biggest enemy and tops the list when we are talking about what could come in our way. Along with self confidence comes other things. We have internal dialogues होते हैं हमारे, बोलते हैं ना दिमाग में कुछ चल रहा है, there is somebody constantly talking in our head. There is a self talk we all have. A lot of time this self talk is negative. When I'm counseling people, most of the time it is towards helping them create new thought patterns. Because हम जब internally अपने बारे में बात करते हैं, अरे मैंने ऐसा कैसे कर दिया, मैं ये काम भी ठीक नहीं कर सकता, अरे मुझे तो ये बोलना चाहिए था, मुझे ऐसा करना चाहिए था, आई थिंक मैं बूढ़ी होती जा रही हूँ, आई थिंक मेरी स्किल्स जा रही हैं, ये दिस इंटरनल डायलॉग, दिस इंटरनल चैटर लीड्स टू सर्टन फीलिंग्स. जब मैंने अपने दिमाग में ये डायलॉग किया कि आई डोंट थिंक आई एम गुड इनफ, विच इज अ वेरी बिग इंटरनल डायलॉग मेजोरिटी ऑफ पीपल हैव, चाहे वो एक स्टूडेंट है, चाहे वो एक मिडिल एज बंदा है, चाहे वो एक सीनियर सिटीजन है. I am not good enough is a common pattern that comes across all ages, all genders, all groups. जब हमने ये बिलीफ बना लिया मन में, आई एम नॉट गुड इनफ, एसोसिएटेड फीलिंग्स आती है रिजेक्शन की, रिग्रेट की, रिपेंटेंस की. ऑल दीज आर नेगेटिव इमोशंस विच स्टार्ट टू पुल अस डाउन. देयर इज इनफ एंड मोर रिसर्च विच सेज हाउ पॉजिटिव इमोशंस बिल्ड रेजिलियंस. हम नेगेटिव इमोशंस को फीड करेंगे, उससे हमें सिर्फ और सिर्फ नेगेटिविटी ही मिलेगी और कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. सो नेगेटिव सेल्फ टॉक कि मैं तो ये कर ही नहीं पाऊंगा, आई हैव ट्राइड सो मच बट आई हैव नेवर सक्सीडेड. वी हैव मेट पीपल हु हैड, जिसको हम प्री मेच्योर क्लोजर करते हैं, कुछ नया स्टार्ट किया, शुरुआत में विन नहीं मिली, बंद कर दिया कि मुझसे नहीं होगा, अरे किसी को बताना नहीं. सो दैट टेक्स अस टू द नेक्स्ट चैलेंज, आइसोलेशन. वी गेट इन टू अ शेल. हम किसी से बात नहीं करते, किसी को बताते नहीं है. देर इज अ बिग फीलिंग, आई हैव फेल्ड, आई थॉट ऑफ डूइंग समथिंग, आई एम नॉट इवन गुड एट दैट, which starts to impact even our mainstream profession. Whether I'm teaching, whether I'm a professional, an HR person, or a legal person, or a finance person, when I'm thinking I'm not good enough, I feel I have failed, I will start to reflect that in my other professional associations as well. There's no end to it. The spiral effect just keeps going. So these are few. Add on to the list. Victimhood. मेरे साथ ही ऐसा होता है, मैं कुछ भी करना चाहूँ वो ठीक नहीं हो पाता है. कुछ भी मैं अगर आज उठा लूं वो तो टूटेगा ही, वो खराब तो होगा ही. अरे हाउ कुड दिस वर्क आउट, मैं कर रही थी ना. सो दैट नेगेटिव सेल्फ टॉक लीड्स टू सर्टेन बिलीव्स दैट ये तो हो ही नहीं पाएगा, एंड देन वी बिकम अ विक्टिम कि always happens with me. There is a very common victim plom. There is a game that we play with us as per transactional analysis. It's called plom. Poor little old me. So we get into that mindset. Poor little old me. This happened with me. Poor little old me. मुझे उसने धोखा दे दिया. Poor little old me. This partnership that this didn't work out. So we get into that victim mindset. We isolate ourselves, and then another thing that happens is comparison. मैंने तो ये स्टार्ट कर दिया, बट दोज पीपल डिड इट फार बेटर देन आई डिड. They are doing this, I should also be doing this. So we constantly start to compare, even बच्चों को, within our own two children, we constantly compare. One is able to do this far better than the other one. देखो भैया ने कैसे फटाफट कंप्लीट कर दिया, तुम भी कर गया. So that comparison that happens in schools, that happens at home, actually stays in our minds. We work with people where we have seen how comparison actually becomes a deep seated pattern in us as kids, which doesn't grow up. And that turns into pleasing personality. Because हम constantly please करना चाहते हैं कि मेरे साथ comparison ना हो, मैं किसी को खुश रख सकूं. So we are pleasing at work, we are pleasing in school, we are pleasing at college, we are pleasing at home, we are pleasing our partners, we are pleasing and pleasing and pleasing. So comparison mode में हम जब जाते हैं, then we are actually feeding back into that belief, I'm not good enough, others are doing it better than me, and hence I will fail, and hence I need to keep people happy ताकि मुझे opportunities मिलती रहे. Self confidence gets shaken further. That comparison sometimes actually leads to imitation. Like everybody wants to speak well. In fact, public speaking is one of the biggest fears that all of us have, even the bigger fear than death. That's what researchers said, right? So public speaking अगर किसी को करना है, people will say, अरे that person is a good speaker, you know, वो बहुत हंसाते हैं, so उनके audios बहुत अच्छे होंगे. But my natural personality may not be drawn towards humor. My natural personality may actually be drawn towards data. So when I am developing a skill, instead of imitating someone else, if I start to identify my strengths और वो मैं अपने लिए और दूसरों के लिए कैसे उनका सक्सेसफुल लेवरेज कर सकती हूँ, that is going to give me more success. So these are some of the enemies of transformation. And at Unakriti website, along with many other resources, we have published a complete article where you can read what your enemies of transformation could be, how you identify those transformations. And this is not a bookish knowledge, Sudhirji. This is something we have experienced. This is something we have lived through. As a psychologist, my journey starts by working on myself, identifying my patterns, and that is a lifelong journey. Nothing is ever perfect. Perfection is an illusion. Because the moment we say perfection arrive ho gaya hai, we have killed all the possibility for further transformation. So, as a coach, we are always trying to help someone reach a state of bettering themselves. Because ultimate outcome क्या होगा वो हम सोच भी नहीं सकते, हम बता भी नहीं सकते. So there is nothing called perfection, the perfect day, the perfect moment, the perfect time, the perfect skill, the perfect moment. It just has to start. And these things, if we are able to work on, identify, get the right support, अगर खुद करना है खुद कर सकते हैं, फैमिली मेंबर्स के साथ काम कर सकते हैं, पेरेंट्स के साथ काम कर सकते हैं, मेंटर्स के साथ काम कर सकते हैं, प्रोफेशनल हेल्प ले सकते हैं, काउंसलर्स के साथ काम कर सकते हैं, स्किल्स सीख सकते हैं, ट्रेनिंग ले सकते हैं, कोच ले सकते हैं जिसमें आपको क्लियर गोल्स सेट होते हैं, माइलस्टोन सेट होते हैं. We have seen that happen. And these are the blocks which we have also experienced sometime or the other. And these blocks, if they are not overcome, they will always come in the way of us moving forward.
So I totally agree with you on this. And as you have mentioned about the perfection, lot many people actually wait for things to get perfect and fine, and then we will start. Or maybe they look up to certain people and they like, oh हम तो उनके जैसा बन ही नहीं सकते हैं, means they are so beyond our skills, and it will take a lot of time and effort, and maybe it is quite impossible for now to for us now to reach that level. But they forget to map their journey. They each and everyone starts from like Sachin Tendulkar. He started from one run, then he reached to 10,000. Not directly he reached to 10,000, right? So every businessman, even every public speaker, he start with fumbling, he start with lot many embarrassment on the platform. But the one thing is common in each of them is that fighting with your own challenges, as you have mentioned, that overcoming challenges. But yes, one thing very fine, I find it very interesting in your view that people should look for the coaches as well, which is actually very less around us. We often take advice from our parents, our friends who are equally perplexed and confused as we are. But when it comes to giving advices to their own peers, they are like, okay, हमसे ज़्यादा ज्ञानी कोई नहीं है. So is this a right way to get the advices, or is this a right way to get the quality of knowledge? Or if a normal in regular Indian city, if a student want to do something, what kind of channel they have to opt for in order to upskill their skills or knowledge?
Hmm. That's a very good question, Sudhir ji, because वो एक बहुत बड़ा, जब हम सोचते हैं हमें कुछ करना है, कहीं ना कहीं वो हमारे सामने सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन आ जाता है, कैसे हम
स्टार्ट कहाँ
उसको
से करें?
कैसे आगे ले. सॉरी.
स्टार्ट कहाँ से करें? स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट क्या होना चाहिए हमारा, ये
बिल्कुल.
लोगों को नहीं पता होता है.
बिल्कुल. तो स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट क्या होना चाहिए, कहाँ से स्टार्ट करना है, किससे पूछना है, किससे एडवाइस लेना है. एंड इट इज अबाउट डेवलपिंग योर ओन सर्कल ऑफ नॉलेज, जो
राइट.
आप शुरुआत छोटा करते हैं और फिर एक्सपैंड करते हैं. टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, कई दफा ऐसा होता है कि बच्चों के मन में जो एस्पिरेशंस होती हैं शायद वो अपने पेरेंट्स से भी खुल के बात नहीं कर पाते, बिकॉज देर इज अ फियर ऑफ जजमेंट कि मेरे बारे में क्या सोचा जाएगा। ऐसा तो नहीं लगेगा कि मेरा पढ़ाई में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, ऐसा तो नहीं लगेगा कि मेरे साथ कोई प्रॉब्लम हो रही है इसीलिए मैं ये सोचना चाह रहा हूँ, या ये स्किल उठाना चाह रहा हूँ, या इस पैशन को आगे लेना चाह रहा हूँ। कितनी दफा लोग, बच्चे स्पेशली, अपने लेवल पे ये इंटरेस्ट गेन करते हैं और अपने लेवल पे ये चीजें एक्सप्लोर करते हैं। सो कहाँ से स्टार्ट करना चाहिए इज अ बिग क्वेश्चन। एंड अगेन देर इज नो राइट और रॉन्ग ओवर हियर। एंड किड्स, when I am referring to kids, I am referring to someone जो अभी बचपन में फर्स्ट या सिक्स टू सेवेंथ ग्रेड से है, उसके बाद द मोमेंट यू हैव क्रॉस सिंगल डिजिट एज, यू डोंट लाइक टू बी कॉल्ड अ किड, यू आर ग्रोन अप। आप 11 साल 12 साल के होते हैं, देन यू आर ग्रोन अप, एंड देन यू गेट इन टू द स्टेज ऑफ अडोलेसेंस एंड देन यू एक्चुअली बिकम अडल्ट। हर एक स्टेज पे हमारा सपोर्ट सिस्टम अलग हो सकता है। जब हम छोटे होते हैं तो आर फर्स्ट ट्यूनिंग इज विद आर पेरेंट्स, इज विद आर सिबलिंग्स। हमारे बड़े भाई बड़े बहन क्या कर रहे हैं, कजन्स क्या कर रहे हैं, हमारे माता पिता का क्या गाइडेंस है, हमारे टीचर से पूछ सकते हैं। देर आर टीचर्स विच वी ऑल वुड रिमेम्बर फ्रॉम आर अर्ली ईयर्स हु बिकेम रोल
Yes.
मॉडल्स फॉर अस। कुछ टीचर्स ऐसे होते हैं जो हमें एक ऐसी इंस्पिरेशन देते हैं कि हम उनके जैसे बनना चाहते हैं। अगर मैं अपना ही याद करूं, मैं जब फिफ्थ सिक्स सेवन स्टैंडर्ड में थी, तो हमारे स्कूल में स्पेशल एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट हुआ करता था। एंड मेरे को बहुत पुल होता था कि मुझे उस डिपार्टमेंट में जाके कुछ करना है। तो हमारी एक टीचर थी हु वाज वेरी वेरी अप्रोचेबल। आई रीच्ड आउट टू हर कि मैम, मतलब मेरे को अगर गेम्स पीरियड में नहीं बाहर खेलना, अगर मुझे आपके साथ आके काम करना है, इन बच्चों के साथ आके काम करना है, मैं कैसे कर सकती हूँ? सो यू रीच आउट टू द टीचर्स अराउंड, and she gave me opportunity. She said you can be a monitor in this class when I go for my lunch, क्योंकि उस समय आपका लंच होगा। मैं फटाफट अपना लंच खा के पहुंच जाती होती थी, and I would be a monitor on that space. And I'm not surprised how my interest then started to develop in psychology. Then I have people in my family, my sister who also pursued psychology, so I started to seek guidance from them. So comes your siblings, right? And after you have your siblings, then you expand your network, then you expand people who are siblings, friends, फ्रेंड्स से आप बातें करते हो, डिस्कशन करते हो, उनसे इंसाइट्स लेते हो। अब एक बच्चा जो सिक्स या स्टैंडर्ड सेवन स्टैंडर्ड में, आप बोलोगे कि स्पेशल एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट में थोड़ा सा वॉलंटियरिंग काम कर लिया तो व्हाट्स द बिग डील अबाउट इट। कुछ साल पहले मैं थाईलैंड में एज अ काउंसलर काम कर रही थी फॉर अ स्कूल, इंटरनेशनल स्कूल फॉर चिल्ड्रन विद स्पेशल नीड्स। And for me, that environment was so familiar, and I loved being there and working with children who had conduct disorder, autism, attention deficit disorder, where 4 साल का बच्चे को एक डायग्नोसिस करके मेन स्ट्रीम स्कूल में एडमिशन नहीं मिल रहा था, क्योंकि वो किसी भी जगह 20 मिनट नहीं बैठ पाता था। वो आधा आधा घंटा बैठ के आर्ट थेरेपी के थ्रू शार्क्स बनाता। सो देर आर things which even a 4 year old has as their strengths, and we can help them. And my volunteering experience then actually became a monetized profession for me years later. उस समय मेरे को ये समझ में नहीं आया। So I then expand my culture, my circle. So taking example of taking, this work of volunteering forward, when I then moved into college, I started to look at the connects around. हमारे कॉलेज में एक दफा एक थिएटर ग्रुप आया था, नटखट थिएटर ग्रुप था नाम उसका, एंड उन्होंने एक स्ट्रीट प्ले किया। आई सेड आई वांट टू डेवलप, आई वांट टू डू दिस आल्सो। सो नोन लोगों से आप बाहर निकल के उन लोगों के पास जाइए जो वो काम कर रहे हैं, जो आपको वो
Mm.
चीज सिखा सकते हैं। वो कोच होते हैं, वो प्रोफेशनल्स होते हैं। तो आप, जब मैंने वो थिएटर ज्वाइन किया, वो थिएटर से वापस आके मैंने अपने कॉलेज में हिंदी ड्रामेटिक सोसाइटी को रिसरेक्ट किया, स्क्रिप्ट लिखी, which was never something I had thought I will do, collected a group of people who were as passionate that I was, participated in big institutes across India during festival time with our play. Huh, we did not win a trophy, but that dramatic society in my college became alive again, and it continues to participate, which was completely, dormant for a very long time. And once I did that skill and developed and started to practice as a as a trainer, I could very easily integrate theater and dramatization in that. So you take help from people who are experts in that. Those could be people, your coaches, those could be people who are professionals in that area. If you want to be an author, you take coaching from an author. If you want to develop a website, you work with somebody who is an expert in that domain and can guide you properly. If you want to develop public speaking skills, or if you want to develop any skill, as a matter of fact, I work with people, I may not even know that skill that they want to develop, but by transformation coaching and bringing the right structure, I'm able to help them set their goals, assess the status quo, set milestones, and do regular periodic reviews and adapt my style as per their needs. Some people like to read resources, some people like to watch videos, some people like to have interactions and live sessions. And I also integrate mindfulness and meditation in that. वो कहाँ से सीखा? वो एक एनजीओ में वॉलंटियर करते करते सीखा। वहां पे वॉलंटियरिंग किया, उन्होंने चक्रा मेडिटेशन का कोर्स कोर्स अपने स्टाफ के लिए करा रहे थे, मैंने कहा मैं भी करूंगी। एंड टुडे आई कैन कंस्ट्रक्ट माय ओन मेडिटेशंस, नॉट ओनली इन चक्रा बट मल्टीपल एरियाज which leverage our all senses and enhance mindfulness. So you reach out to professionals. You can even take courses. We believe in, जब तक आपका कोई एरिया मोनेटाइजेशन जोन में नहीं जा रहा है, you take smaller steps. You decide where you want to spend money. If you think working with a coach and investing there will you give you faster results, go for it. But if you think you want to start with a course and then start to build on it, that is also okay. But सर्कल को एक्सपैंड करना पड़ेगा। और आजकल तो इंफॉर्मेशन इज सो इजीली अवेलेबल, एंड वर्चुअली वी हैव सीन दैट आउटरीच इंक्रीजेस। लाइक वी वर्क रिमोटली, हमारे सारे क्लाइंट्स कोई कहीं है, कोई कहीं है, इंडिया में है, बाहर है, बाउंड्री लेस है हम। और जब हम खुद को बाउंड्री लेस बना देते हैं तो रिसोर्सेज हमें सिर्फ आसपास नहीं दिखती, हमें रिसोर्सेज हर जगह दिखती हैं। You could be sitting in Hamirpur in Himachal Pradesh and working with somebody sitting somewhere in Scotland. इस तरह का नेटवर्क भी आप बिल्ड कर सकते हैं, because there are platforms, and when you don't know those platforms, that's where a good coach can come into play as well. So their bottom line, it boils down to expand your circle. Even if I'm a teacher, I don't need to know all of these things. I do not need to know कि मेरे को एक बच्चे का स्ट्रेंथ दिख रहा है पेंटिंग में, so I need to become a painter to help this student gain that knowledge. I need to create a platform, help this person connect with right people, even invite people to my college or school, or do webinars जिससे इस बच्चे को exposure मिल सके. Connect people with right people, connect that child or anybody with right people. और कहीं ना कहीं वो डर निकाल दे मन से कि अगर इसमें घुस गया तो पढ़ाई का क्या होगा। अरे जब वो हम कुछ भी चीज करते हैं जिससे हमें खुशी मिलती है, हमारी कमिटमेंट उसके साथ ज्यादा के ज्यादा बढ़ती जाती है। एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन व्हेन आई हैव सीन देम ब्लूम एंड एक्सप्लोर देयर मल्टीपल टैलेंट्स, एक्चुअली डेवलप होलिस्टिकली। वो पढ़ाई में भी फिर फोकस करना शुरू कर देते हैं, क्योंकि उनका कुछ दबा हुआ नहीं रह रहा है, उनको छुप के कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, उनको उससे अप्रिसिएशन और एक्नॉलेजमेंट मिल रही है। So once we are appreciated, that's the food for soul. So appreciation is something that everybody is seeking. जहाँ पे आपको मिलती है वो appreciation, लोग जाते हैं वहाँ पे. It's better we start to give them and take charge of that at our level. So expand the circle. Don't limit yourself. Get a coach if that's what you think will get you the right results. Engage with right professionals.
Very well said. And I think that this is a need of an hour these days. So as you mentioned that you work remotely for lot many clients and lot many individuals in order to identify their skill sets and then to set their goals and in between marking their progress. So how you exactly do that for the people?
So how we do that? There are various ways we enable people in
Hmm.
tapping their avatars, and
Hmm.
we can say we can help you tap your avatars because we've done that. We've done that. We've had our own disappointments, and we have had our own wins. We have had our course corrections. हमने अपने आप को पूरा रीब्रांड भी किया हुआ है और अलग अलग चीजों में काम किया हुआ है. So we enable people in multifold ways. When we have someone who is struggling a lot with the enemies that we spoke about, enemies of transformation, बहुत ज़्यादा self doubt है, anxiety है, depression भी हो सकता है, psychological challenges भी हो सकते हैं, नेगेटिव सेल्फ टॉक है, किसी भी तरह का तनाव है, स्ट्रेस है, हम एंड ये मैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ बच्चों के लिए नहीं बोल रही, these could be children, these could be adolescents. Virtually we work with people who are 18 years and above, so my clients have been 18-year-old also for counseling, and in their middle age also, and senior citizens as well. Mothers reach out and they want to talk about their children, like giving an example, that one of the counseling session that I had, there was a mother who was very anxious that my child doesn't talk to many people. And when we started to work, went deeper, and how that certain things that need to be worked upon, awareness levels pe aaya, that child during the lockdown has logged and opened their own YouTube channel. That's the power when we clear off our heads and minds. For that, we support through virtual counseling. So I offer virtual counseling for almost anything and everything which will be impacting your emotional well-being, mental well-being, and overall sense of kuch theek nahi hai. The belief is they have it in them. Everybody has a skill, everybody has a potential to deal with their issues. And the way I'd like to call myself is, जब बारिश हो रही होती है और हम ड्राइव कर रहे होते हैं, it doesn't mean कि मेरी आंखों में कोई दिक्कत आ गई है, that I've become blinded. It means there is rain and I need help to clear off that rain. Hence, we switch on our wiper. So, as a counselor, my job, as a psychologist, psychotherapist, my job is to help clear that water on the windshield as a wiper, because their vision is perfect. They have the ability, they have it in them to be able to achieve they want. So, counseling is one way where you uplift yourself, bring yourself as a level that will give you a chance to take yourself to the next level. That's where comes coaching. So we offer transformation coaching, again virtually, where we help identify what's your status quo. That coaching can be in any area. It could be skill based. You want to learn certain skills. You want to get better at public speaking. You can want to get better at communication. You want to work on your sleep patterns. You want to focus on holistic well-being. We work on 9 realms of holistic well-being. So we will then offer that whole intervention where we'll work with them on goals. We will give them the tools, techniques, work with them, get deeper into their life, and help them make the right changes which they take the lead of. And we review the progress and keep adding the goals. So transformation coaching is for anyone and everyone who wants to transform, change nahi, transform from this to this, any area of your life. You can come professional space में relationships के साथ कैसे काम करना है. The list could go on. That's the second space that we enable people tap their avatars. The third space, once I'm clear in my mind, I may stop there only and then I can be independent. Once I know what my goals, I can continue to work. But we do come in contact and work with a lot of clients who are clear. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to do. I am a teacher, but I also want to run an organic store. I am a teacher, but I also want to have my recipe blog. I am a teacher, but I also want to have a e-commerce store or my blog where I share my travel resources. Or I'm a lawyer, but an astrologer or a numerologist also. So I want to increase my outreach. We run a very successful web studio and do cloud hosting. तो आपकी डोमेन से लेकर होस्टिंग से लेकर डिजाइनिंग डेवलपमेंट ऑफ योर वेबसाइट डूइंग अ मेंटेनेंस ऑफ योर वेबसाइट एवरीथिंग वी डू for you, so you can focus on that potential which tomorrow can become monetizing for you. And we will then also coach you how to monetize it further, how to get into advertising, how to get into affiliate links, how to get deeper into your business. So we actually will get into your shoes as if it is our potential. And when we get into those shoes, we give suggestions, guidance, not only limited to how to design your website, but it goes into the business consulting space as well. So we have enabled a lot of people from NGOs to, freelancers to full on, stores, enhance their digital presence and outreach through successfully running online presence through websites that they have today. And these are not necessarily people who are looking at monetizing right now. It's like seed boy hai, and you never know when they starts to sprout. And that moment when it comes, अगर मैं आज lawyer नहीं हूँ तो क्या होंगी, उनको सोचने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. They just activate that avatar. And all of these things and many more things we offer via bespoke programs, which could be in the form of workshops, webinars, speakerships, discussions, and interviews like you and I are doing today, which will open the mind, actually give skills, public speaking skills, assertiveness skills, holistic well being, communication, blogging workshops, webinars on that, branding, asking yourself, what do I need to do differently to be able to achieve my goals faster? So, special skill based workshops, too, well-being based workshop, enhancing your mental well-being, enhancing emotional well-being, looking at your financial well-being, professional well-being, relationship well-being, working better in relationships, communicating more effectively in different environments in front of different people. So workshops are completely bespoke, while we have our standard workshops as well. And we have seen in all these four mediums that we are talking about: virtual counseling, virtual transformation coaching, web studio and cloud hosting, or webinars and workshops. We have seen results when people take that decision and say, yes, I want to do it. I believe I can do it. And I want to walk in this path and activate my multiple potentials while not leaving my mainstream work. I want to continue my college, but I also want to become better at public speaking. I want to continue my college, but I want to enhance my coding skills. I wanted to do this, but because of COVID, now I am unable to. So I want to develop something new for myself. So wherever people have taken those decisions, I've been working for these many years. Now I want to transition from HR to another field. I've been working as, as a salesperson for a very long time. Now I want to partner with somebody and open my own store, and I want to enhance my web presence for that. I've been having a regular store, I want to have an online presence. Wherever people have been able to identify, take that decision, and move towards it, the results have been coming to them, and they are being able to tap their avatars, because we tap our avatars and help them tap their avatars. It's possible, it's workable, and we have seen people achieve results. We have met fabulous people that we have interacted with who are making it happen. So these are few ways that we enable you to tap your avatars, and we believe in you. It's all about whether you believe in yourself or not.
And I'm totally sure that you will help people and reach out many people by today's session. And it's a request to all my viewers and the fellow educators that do share this video with as many as people possible, so that we can build a new community, we can untap our avatars, and we can monetize our things in for the future. Because this situation actually helps us to identify that we have to make multiple streams, and we have to monetize each and every stream of ours in order to survive in future. So my question to you, the last question is that if people want to reach you, how they can do that?
Yeah, thank you so much,
And
Sudhirji,
if
for
the
this
schools,
beautiful
yeah,
and
want
wonderful.
to conduct some kind of workshop for skill enhancement and something like that through you, so how they would reach out to you?
So, as I said, we are operating virtually across the globe. We are pioneering in remote work even before a lot of people, were forced to do it. We can be reached out by a virtual platform straight away. So, our website is www.unakriti, UNAKRITI.com. इस वेबसाइट पे आप आके हम क्या करते हैं देख सकते हैं. Come and subscribe, because we very frequently keep sharing a lot of free resources. So when I spoke about the article on transformation journey enemies, well-being resources, blogging resources, a lot of travel material, because we have our book, as I said, Backpacking Northeast India, a curious journey. Everything is there, and we are very active publishers to share resources and also publish others as well. So if somebody wants to get visibility, अपना platform नहीं है, they can leverage us at unakriti.com and even publish their stories. So subscribe to it, visit that website, see all that we do, and reach out to us via the website. If you want to get in touch directly with us, our email ID is mail, M-A-I-L, mail at unakriti, unakriti.com. Mail at unakriti.com is our email ID. So you can write to us there. If you are a more social media connect person and you do not like to go to websites or you do not like to get into mailboxes, we are present on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. You will just need to look for Unakriti as a handle and you will be able to find us on LinkedIn. Follow us there, Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest also. We are also present on Pinterest with the same handle at the rate Unakriti, Unakriti. And on Facebook, please come, follow us, like us. Our page is Unakriti Social, Unakriti Social. So if you want to reach out to us through any of our social handles, do follow us, track us there. We keep sharing updates, beautiful pictures from Himachal, because that's been our base for last 2 years. 5 दिन के लिए आए थे, 2.5 साल हो गए हैं, अभी तक यहीं पे है. कमिटमेंट लोकेशन की नहीं है, क्लाइंट्स के लिए है. So that's who we are, and we can be reached out from our website, from mail ID that I just shared, or any of our social media handles. And we would love to hear from you. We would love to have you join our tribe by subscribing, and we would love to work with you, whether it is for a webinar or a training workshop, which is virtual, or in the real world when that starts to happen more actively. हिमाचल में किसी को अगर जरूरत है तो हम तो यहीं पर ही हैं. So anybody can reach out in Himachal directly to us. We are supporting a lot of people with their websites and counseling support, and also successfully targeting for retreats. Some people want to do that. So Himachal may locally we are available. For everything else, you can reach out through our website, email ID, and social media handles. And we are waiting to have you join the tribe and contact us.
Definitely, and I have, I think, already joined your tribe. And thank you so much for giving us
Thank
your
you.
precious time. And definitely, we would like to attend many of your sessions in the coming future. And I still believe that this is a very nice idea in the future to remain boundaryless and to remain in the virtual space rather than confining to one place. And as you have mentioned, that your commitment is not for a place, is for clients, so which is a very nice thing, I think. So thank you everyone for your precious time, and thank you Navita for giving us your precious time and such wonderful inputs. It's quite an enlightening session for all of us today. So
Thank
any
you so
last
much,
message
Sudhir ji.
so
Yes,
any
I
last
would
message you
like to
would like
share.
to give? Yeah, sure.
Yes, so my last message is multifold. First is thank you so much for bringing such amazing experts on Getty platform to interact with a fantastic audience and create this space where different people can come and share their ideas and also inspire and help each other and collaborate as well. So thank you so much for creating this platform, and our best wishes remain with you and continue to be with you to grow this further. Our best wishes with the founder, Ms. Gandhi, as well, who has thought of this amazing idea of disruptive education, which a lot of people just keep thinking about but have not been able to take it forefront. So it's a very bold move, and our congratulations and best wishes to her. And joining this whole mission of disruptive education and disruptive world with boundaryless existence. We are here to help you, and we have been living, and we would want you to hashtag tap your avatars. Just go there. Don't wait for that moment. Don't wait for that perfect day. Make that start right now. So before you switch off completely from this discussion, I'll leave you with a question, and that could be something that would get you started. Just give yourself a moment after this is over. When was the last time you did something for the first time and you really wanted to do? Give yourself that thought process. Your ideas will start to happen and see the magic flow. Thank you so much for being so patient and listening to me and giving me this opportunity to come and talk to every one of you. And thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So have a great day to you. and to all my viewers.